transport geography. Please learn transport geography. If you want to do shipping, you have to know your geography. Yes. You wanted to say the port? Try it. Where? What word is? Can you spell it?
Yes.
Okay, no, it's not it. Yes. He said. You see, they have not, the name is written in a verb, but maybe the pronunciation is worrying you. Try it. Yeah, the word starts with A. I agree with you. The first starts with A. You see, it sounds like the Al Jazeera is on the serious. I know. So we are asking ourselves, what is the business benefit of the hub and spoke to the carrier? One, less capacities to be provided than in other kinds of networks. Transport equipment and physical cargo handling facilities, they are there plenty. So when they are there plenty, swiftness, facilitation, okay, it becomes less expensive. Higher loading productivity by concentrating freight volumes. Freight volumes here is the cargo itself. Yeah, a lot of volumes are built at the hub, like a port of Singapore. Singapore, which is a tiny dot country, as of today, their target is to have 65 ports. In 2013, the last time I went there, they had 56. So they were left with only 9. And I know by now, if I should call my good friend who is there, he can tell me they've achieved 60 already. That's small dots, and because that is all they have in the world. So it's one of the high-ranking hubs in the world. Efficient, driven, and I told you they have got one more human beings to get out, then it becomes a ghost spot, and that leads to high efficiency. You see, in the shipping industry, we have this measurement, the way to assess your port, logistics performance index. And when we take about 150 countries, Ghana port, we are about 145. Yahweh. And Singapore has been number 1 consistently for several years as of now. No port has dethroned them yet. Efficient drilling. If you go to the port of Los Angeles, the tour guide will tell you congestion is not in their dictionary. That port is self-efficient. There are no vessel wastes time at anchorage. Berth occupancy is very fast. Do your business and get out. Let another person use that space. So these are the things of hub and spoke. Concentration of administrative and communication facilities. So everything is there. And also minimize transaction costs and higher efficiency. Any high efficiency system reduces costs. Is that not it? Yes. Every native very high will reduce your cost. When I'm slow, everything, I use 24 hours to do something and I'm charged per hour unit, I'll pay more. But I make sure in English language, I'll save time. Yes. If you want to do it. When I was in London those years, me and a colleague had the last tier job. You know, if you're in London, you don't sleep, you sleep, you make money. Yes, so I was working 2, 8, 10, 13 hours out of the 24 hours. The first 2 hours, you see, we plan. The first 2 hours money is used for our daily expenses. Then the main 8 hours is the one savings. Then the last 3 hours is also have another budget. And me and my friend, so efficient, we clock in 5 o'clock, less than an hour, we finish with our job. So we only make sure we go and find some corner and be conversing. Because you cannot clock out before 8. If you clock out before 8, your wages will be calculated less the hours. But we are easy to finish the job. So we see we've made time for ourselves, we can use for other things. So if you are efficient, you are always making time for yourself. It's like if you are having an examination, you have 2 papers. And the difference between paper 1 and paper 2 is 3 hours. and you have to finish on the 3rd hour. Then you see some students, whether they finish or not, they are still in the room. Get out and go and be revising for your next paper. So when you're efficient, you save time and money, okay? So Hub spoke, efficiency is achieved there and everything is better. So this is about how the network is diagrammatic, okay? So it's please, there's difference between this. You see the word, is that not advantages? Then the next one that I wrote is what? Yeah, benefits, the economies of density and scale. Yeah, or this we call, because it's cargo, but it's just like you're having the density of scale in your business. Do you get it? Freight forwarders have density of scale in shipping along the logistics supply chain. That's where we are very important. That's why we have to be efficient, timely, then we make more money. You see, freight forwarders, we practice the human hub and spoke. Do you know that? No, do you know that? That's the way, how is the way freight forwarders are. People don't know our role very well in international trade facilitation. Without this, the shipping industry will come to a halt, or it will be so slow. Is it not a freight forwarder? So what am I trying to draw? We disperse our energies, we deal with all the other stakeholders. Tema, I start by inputting the transaction. That the moment I start typing A for a particular client's job, all the stakeholders which are supposed to be party to the transaction have started seeing my declaration. Okay, this is an example of single window. We the forwarders are the depository of information, and all the other stakeholders come and pick what they want from us and treat and come back, and life goes on. So my declaration, the first point is customs. They are interested in my declaration to pick the duty amount. Okay, let us follow me the flow chart, those of you in the industry. From customs, I go to the shipping line. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
They are only interested in the certain documents here, not all the documents that I've attached on the UCR to customs. What will the shipping line pick from me? The PL. And maybe customs payment duty receipt. But there are other documents I've loaded here. From here we come to who?
Terminal.
The terminal operator. What document is the terminal operator inserted from me?
The parking lease invoice and the terminal.
No, terminal operator. Terminal operator, shipping line have paid him. He has done. What does the shipping line do for you?
They releases the cargo.
They releases the cargo. The document on which they releases the cargo, what is the name? The document on which, or after releasing the cargo, they generate for you and they transmit to the terminal operator. What's the name? DO, delivery order. They are now telling the terminal operator, you have paid all their liabilities, they can deliver the cargo to you. So, what document will interest the terminal operator? Paramount is the delivery order. So, if you remember, if it expires, they sack you, go and renew your expiring date.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yes.
It tells them as if you are still owing the shipping line some money. And true, maybe your demurrage days have passed for certain reasons, your goods are still stuck. So go back and sort yourself out. Your due is so they are primarily interested in the delivery order, nothing else. Then now, this is customs 1. Customs 2 is here now for what? Examination officer. Together with him, he has got national security, he has got national, and a lot. Are they not all feeding on the freight forwarder? Yes. So if in processing documents, at each point I process about 10 documents for 10 different concernees, am I not optimizing time? So I've got an economic of scale. And because I give volumes, at certain points I enjoy discount, and that discount can earn in my pocket. The shipping line will give me special considerations when they are giving me demurrage days. I give them so much volume, so they waive demurrages for me. Instead of serving 14 days, serving, they'll give me 40 or 21. Then I'll go to my importer. It's not for my handsomeness that I'm doing it to. Give me some. Yes. So, but we optimize and everybody's enjoy our efforts. So we are the hub. Then we disperse our energies. Everybody is the spoke. So the hub establishes economies of scale. Yeah. A better capacity utilization. You see, in shipping, the machines that they deploy to work, they work on economic moves. So when they sign a machine to an operator and he moves 100 times before he puts out the machine that I finished my shift, and he so works so hard on number of consignments, because they are also charging the parties that deals with them by units. Is that not it? Yes. So economic moves is that go out with that machine before, by the time you are registering the tear and wear, you have worked so much that even if I use some of the money to repair the machine and pay you, I'll get profit. That is why in taxation there's a principle that we don't use less money as a tax collector to more money as a tax collector to collect less tax. The better don't do it. So some time past we were fighting with customs over this. They were so petty. Even if it is 2 cedis, 10 cedis, they say go to baggage and pay. Meanwhile, the baggage duty receipt is so expensive. It's issued in triplicate. Give you the original, the triplicate becomes waste. And even the time, the agent will waste. So gradually they listen to us and they have removed that. So everything you pay through the electronic channel. Okay. So economies of scale is very important in shipping, because in shipping, time is what? Money. That is all about what are the benefits. Okay. Is there less transit time, a better service through increasing of service frequency? Every time the port is very busy. So before their facilities will wane off, they've served or rendered a lot of service that translates into money, wealth. That is Singapore for you.